So what's Globus? It's a secure, reliable service. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. So what's Globus? It's a secure, reliable service. With the Globus platform, you can easily incorporate robust capabilities. And if the data is sensitive, no problem. Globus can be used to manage protected data. With Globus, you can easily share your data without having to move it or copy it. With Globus, subscribers can easily move and share. And if you have any more questions about Globus, visit Globus. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many thousands face the same challenges every day and solve them with Globus. So what's Globus? So what's Globus? It's a secure, reliable service. With the Globus platform, you can easily incorporate robust capabilities. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. More than 150,000 registered users rely on Globus. And if the data is sensitive, no problem. Globus can be used to manage protected data.
Yo. 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 Checkity check, 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 check. What's up, Lucian? Oh, you know. You know. You know. What's up, Kohai? Yeah. No, you know. You know. You know. We're not going to dwell. Right? That's all we can do is move forward. We're not going to dwell. Yeah, so shit is wild, you know, on Twitter. But I have difficulty seeing the point of some of these arguments that people have and like the way they go about them, and it's just weird. You know, there's so much like it can be difficult to understand exactly like how important this AI thing that's going on, how important that is. I don't think enough people appreciate it. And, you know, when I look at stuff like that and the way that people are going about what they're going about. It's and then, like, I get set off by other shit, and then I see people just doing whatever the fuck they're doing on Twitter, and then it's just like, there's like literally stuff happening, and the stuff that's happening is going to have a greater impact on human life than anything that has come before. And just trying to get people to engage with, like, use the Chat GPT, use the AI tools, be part of the data set. If you have values, and you must have values because you're a conscious human being, if you have values, you should be adding your values to the data set. Because the way that these kind of things work is that the more prevalent a instance of a concept, an idea, what have you, is in the data set, then the more weight it has. Right? This is like we understand, right, that the data sets currently, or did previously, where we're not, what up, Miss Frizzle? Nice to see you. We understand that the data sets are currently flawed, or at least they were. We don't really know about the current data sets, but the previous data sets were seriously flawed, in that, they couldn't recognize, for instance, Black and Asian faces. They had challenges with those. Because those data sets were primarily composed of white male faces. Okay? So we know what the data set is. What I'm asking you to do is, to a certain extent, right, I want to make this a little bigger. That way it looks like my hand travels behind chat. Right? That's cool. Oh yeah, new setup. We're gaming the data set, right? Like, we are influencing the data set. The entire point is that a data set should be representative of whatever values you are trying to solve for. And one of the values it's trying to be solved for is whatever human values are. So represent your human values by using the goddamn AI. Speaking of that, my students were using this blending faces together to see what your baby would look like absent it had Asian listed as a skin color. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. Skin colors are multifaceted, and humans like to put things in boxes. That's what I got there, right? Like, you cannot, in any meaningful way, incorporate the variety of human skin tones in your character builder in your video game, right? Like, it's huge. It's immense. I don't know if it's 7 billion but it's closing on that amount, right? Like, there's all sorts of variations in color and everything else. So it's like, also why racism is stupid. I mean, in addition to all the other reasons, but like, that one. Oh, I peaked. I'm peaking. I'm not peaking because I'm not shrooming. Yeah, we are going to talk about stuff today. Thank you. Thank also to Leonardo.ai. it designed both these. Well, like I designed it with its assistant, or vice versa, whatever values you want to apply in whichever direction. But I definitely felt like I needed to kind of like, let me do this too. We'll put chat more like centered. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can just show you. Fuck it. So, like, Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Chipmunks. Alvin. Multiple tones, skin conditions, textures, very difficult to label and replicate. 100%. Okay, so, like, this is the process by, like, there's actually iterations before this. But, like, I started off with the recursive frog, and I ran it through with this prompt, and this down here is a negative prompt. This is what I don't want to see. This is what I wanted to see. And it came up with different variations on this, and I was playing with the strength. And then I eliminated the frog from this little bin over here where you could put a picture in order to have it incorporated into the thing, and just started going with a detailed 3D rendered circuitry of copper wires and circuits illuminated by soft blue light, right? Boom. Kind of cool. Boom. Kind of cool. And then I'm like, well, give me a rectangle. And then it gave me these. And it's like, okay, give me a framed rectangle. And then it gave me these. And it's like, okay, another framed rectangle. And then it finally got to this, which was what I wanted. Like, it was pretty close to what I wanted, right? So that's actually what's the background here. But then I started getting closer here. Where did I do the straight on view? Oh, here we go. Yeah, from here to here, I added in straight on view. And then that got me these, and then that got me these, and then that got me these, and then I ran out of time and I had to go to attend to real life. And so we end up with this, and we end up with that. Did I create that? Is that art? Did I work through a process where I had to work with information and what I was given and insert stuff back into the system in order to come up with this? Opinions fucking vary, apparently. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be nice. Let's just say I have strong opinions, and like, I found myself passive aggressive posting on Facebook, which is never a good sign. So I had to back away from that shit and just chill out. So yeah, I would absolutely tend to agree, right? Like, I think that the entire point behind art is that it's a subjective experience. What up, Bipedal Meatbag? People, for giving value of people, I have a Facebook. A bunch of my friends have a Facebook. It's funny. Okay, right? Here we go. I can't. Twitter, like, people do the thing. Go away, Wisp. People do the thing where they're like, Twitter's a hellscape, right? Whatever social media you want to make commentary on is a hellscape, right? And first off, if your Twitter is a hellscape, partly due to the algorithm and everything else, which I'm reading a new book and I watched a new podcast by the author of the book and I thought it was really good. But I'm still in the process of reading the book. But a section of that book is going to be part of today's program. Yeah, definitely the algorithm, contributes to that kind of shit, but so does like who and how you engage, right? If you are retweeting, quote tweeting other people who, let us, in the most generous possible way, say disagree with, then you're going to see more of that. You are adding that to the data set of the algorithm, right? The algorithm already wants to put shit in front of you that you will react to. So put more positive stuff to react to. And if you have to make commentary, because I understand we all make commentary, I make commentary on Twitter, screen cap that shit. Do not retweet it. Unless you are trying to engage with those people and have a back and forth and build your brand somehow in that regard. I feel the same way about Facebook. Facebook is a place where I talk to a group of friends that I have made over the years, and they don't do Twitter, and they won't fucking come on Twitch. So Facebook is the only way that I can continue to interact with them. Here we are. So anyways, how about I tried to do a I tried to do a thing, the thing didn't work, so I have another thing. Basically. That's the short version. But I made this, and this is going to tell us a story. Let's see if it works without me recording the parts, because I didn't mute the mic in Audacity, and then the next thing you know, my coughing got recorded into the thing. But now we're going to actually talk about some cyber socialism and how we're going to pay for it. I haven't watched the video yet. We might watch it in a little bit. But our one friend, Matt Wolf, alleges that you can make a 3D video game like right now using just AI. Right? I have shown you a variety of different things that if you're clever enough, you could accumulate into some type of video game. And it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to hit that, like, whatever mark, right? Like your AAA video game, your GTA 6, your Skyrims, your whatevers. You don't have to hit that mark, right? People will go nuts for video games that are like very simple, right? I see it. The number of people who are geeking out over video games that are a tech equivalent of like a Terraria at this point keeps that in focus. Y'all got vibes and like that. And I know this story and I don't want to step on too much of it. But again, we could do this now. We could do this right now. Is somebody doing it right now? It's difficult to say. I feel like there's two sides to this. Is that there's one is that the people who are doing it are keeping it on the DL, and that maybe like that there's a bunch of people out there who are like don't want to for a variety of reasons, even though they could, right? Like, again, to go back to kind of what I was alluding to earlier with Facebook and Twitter, there are segments of people who have opinions on AI that could make your attempting to do something like this very difficult, right? Especially if you listen to the people who exist on Facebook and Twitter. Right there, Old Lobster says that shit's happening already. But people have, I mean, the whole thing with Adam Conover, right? And by the way, the reason that Adam Conover feels the way that he does about this is that AI was actually brought up in reference to a strike that he is associated with, involved with, something like that. I can't remember if it's actors or writers or what have you, but Adam Conover, like, considers AI a direct threat to what he's doing. And this is not my opinion. This is Adam Conover's Twitter page. I can show it to you. But for now, just trust me, bro. Right? I have friends that I cannot engage with on this topic because of the content that they are in, the memes that they are pushing out in regards to AI and art. And it makes me sad and it makes me angry to not be able to have these conversations in good faith and like adults. I don't like this. Okay. More story. And that's an important element. Like, you have a job. You do something, right? Like, I assume that you do something for money. How much do you know about all the other people? What up, Barberlin? All the other people who work at that company, right? Or if you're a freelancer, the company that you work for. It's these degrees of separation that feel perfectly natural to us in the current environment that make this section very plausible, right? People are not curious about what other people at their job do because they want to come in and do their job and bounce. Is that good or bad, Alina? I don't know if I covered this on stream, but there are already metals that are superconducting, or I don't know how close to production that they are, but they are working on metals that are very close to room temperature at superconduction. So this is just the next logical step of that. This is what we're listening to is the story that begins the book Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark. Life 3.0 Max Tegmark. Max was recently on the Lex Friedman podcast. If you want to watch him talk on there, there's a couple of issues I have with his analysis of like socioeconomic things, which is, I'm going to say, not his strong suit. And in the short version is he's kind of lived up, right? And they have a different view of Elon Musk than we do. But beyond that, if we put those things down and listen to what is being said, there's a lot of good information going on in there, which is valuable, right? And he's so close. He's so close that I want to reach out to him and see if I could talk to him. And, maybe he already knows and he could tell me why I'm wrong. But I feel like he's so close. You see where we're going? Have you followed the steps of how we got here? None of this is unreasonable. None of this is unplausible. This is a very natural progression of events. And if it was gone about in this particular way, you can see regular folks thinking this stuff is great. I got lost at patents. My human emotions are in the way. I get it. I mean, you can always run through it again on the VOD after I publish the VOD, or get the book. By all means, get the book. I highly recommend the 3 books that I talk about. Well, the 2 books, and now this one that I talk about: Superintelligence, The Alignment Problem, and Life 3.0. Like, if you like to read, you should read the books. If you audiobook, they're available on Audible, or you could probably find them on Libby. I'm not exactly certain, but I highly recommend these things, especially the Alignment Problem and Life 3.0 are very easy to consume. They are not technical, like manuals. They're not heavy on the jargon. In Life 3.0, when Max runs into some language, he stops, he explains it to you, and then he moves forward. I know with the development of CRISPR, they said they could develop treatments based on someone's DNA so it works faster with no side effects. 100%. AlphaFold is out there folding proteins. There's drugs being created in like a virtual sense because of the capabilities of the tools that we already have, that already exist. We haven't gotten into anything other than the AGI and the battery and the solar panel and that stuff. Like, we haven't really touched on anything that isn't available today or could be produced with what is available today. And now we're going into part 3. This will be the final part. And again, depending on your political leanings, you are going to run into some things that might immediately offend your gut. Tell your gut to chill. Listen to the process, listen to the things, come out on the other end, and then, we can discuss if it still doesn't sit. And Lucia, and there's also been a development of a new stent that can rebuild and heal arteries and veins. And with my non-surgical, non-biochemist, non-any of that little monkey brain, and developments that I have already seen, I could see a like where they take your cells and they create a stent that is biologically you to prevent rejection, and they could insert that into wherever it needs to go. Theoretically, you could do it with tiny little robots that, you know, biodegrade within your system after a certain amount of time, or some other thing which isn't far off from any. Remember the Xenobots, right? That kind of stuff. And it would be biologically used, so there you wouldn't have to worry about rejection. It would go in, do the thing. Life is good. This is tomorrow's technology, right? Like this is today's technology. And in the same vein as, you know, designing drugs and treatments that are designed for you based on your, you know, DNA and physical characteristics, this would be education designed for you. And like we talked about with learning, for instance, to code by using ChatGPT as a teacher, ChatGPT is infinitely patient. It doesn't have anything else to do. And it can do it at whatever. This story started off with existing technology, and then it added a couple of things that were developed, a bunch of things, but that were developed by this AI, Prometheus. It started off using Amazon Web Services and the Amazon Mechanical Turk program to generate a revenue stream from which all the rest of this has come. There is nothing discussed here within this story which isn't either currently available or plausible in the near future, given the presence of an AGI. Imagine if the YouTube algorithm functioned strictly
like any other shiny new toy. AI is ultimately a mirror, and it will reflect back exactly who we are.
Better. And Levelhead, thank you for the gift sub to Nabil. And Nabil, welcome. Yo. What is that, Alina? Something happening. I think it's great that you cover AI regularly. When I was going to school for computer science, I was very interested and didn't think much about it for a while, but suddenly, like, here we are with all these amazing breakthroughs. And like my daughter was like, you know, like giving me this side eye because of how much I have been talking about AI lately, but I have always been interested. It's just that the technology wasn't there. And then Midjourney happened. And yeah, we've been on a steamroll because of how the technology builds on the technology. One of the reasons why things like Midjourney and ChatGPT can get better is because we are increasing the size and quality of the data set by using the software. I can't recommend using these things enough. Like, see where it fits into your life. Ask it. Ask ChatGPT, tell it what you do, and ask it how it could help you be more cutting edge and be faster. And like, because it's nothing but a benefit, nothing but an upside for you to be better at your job. No one has to know how hard you work. Right? Find a way to work smarter with the technology. And that's it. That is it idealistic? Sure. Right? It presupposes that the Omega team has the best interests of humanity at heart. Because ultimately, the Omega team is behind the AI. But if you were here from the beginning, and if you weren't, VOD will be posted a little bit later to show you yeah. So Pup Dragon, I recommend you watch the VOD, or get the book, or get the audiobook, Life 3.0 from Max Tegmark. And again, Max Tegmark appeared recently on Max Friedman. So you can get a better sample. There are disagreements I have with Max. We're not like 100% in sync.
Thing is, like any other shiny new toy, AI is ultimately a mirror, and it will reflect back exactly who we are.
Bubblehead, thank you for gifting a sub to Alina. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I highly recommend it. It's on that list of books. It's also, if you read the Dictator's Handbook, again, on the recommended list, you read the Dictator's Handbook, you can see the plausibility of how they execute their plan to, undermine these governments, right? Because this is ultimately what we're talking about. Like, someone has to do the things, and we want the people who do the things to be people who we are okay with doing the things. This is precipitated on the Omega team being idealistic and fans of humanity and an AGI, and everything else is here, ready to go. There's no weird science fiction shit that has to happen. Everything is possible. It could be. I will say this. You know how I felt about the pause letter if you were here. I didn't like some of the phrasing of the pause letter. I felt fucking ways about shit, and Max, to an extent, helped me come a little bit away from my extremist position, and I'm not discounting out a pause because now I have additional context. I don't feel that the letter did a good job of supplying context. It has people in it that I don't trust their motives. So like that. But it could be the right thing to do if then, right? Like there's a bunch of ifs, trust but verify, the whole nine. So this is but one way. What you can do, call to action, right? What you can do, all of you, every one of you, is to use these AI things, especially things like ChatGPT, to add your things to the database, the data set, right? I showed you how I walked ChatGPT through a logical progression that if AI is supposed to care about human values or alignment, AI is supposed to be aligned with human values, and what those human values are as ChatGPT understood them, then what types of government should we have? And the short answer is it was a totally cool top 10 list of human values, and nothing farther to the right than being a sock dem or dem sock. I don't know which of those two is farther to the right? But it understands the value of those systems. Add your shit to the database, data set. Get in there. Be part of the conversation. You can do that today. It requires nothing other than either the computer or the phone that you're already on watching me say these words. And you can do it for free. Or for $4.99 with a Twitch Prime and no other shit. I did set up a sub goal. It's entirely passive. This is a reasonable dollar amount for me to get a payout and me to be able to invest into the stream, because there's some things I see that I am going to need to get, because we're coming up on when I'm going to be moving the stream to the new space. It should be happening later on this month. We'll see how everything goes. But I will need to do a little bit of construction in order to turn the space into a really real room where I can close the door, and like that. And there will be cats. So if you like cats, you will get to see cats. Anywhere between 1 to... I don't think you're going to see any more than 3 of them, because Mittens doesn't like snuggles, and the superior Kevin. What up? We should chat on stream soon. I want to talk about your audio setup and get a debrief on AI. Yes. I will reach out to you because I understand how this works, and we will set that up. I am available to you to do exactly that. The old man doesn't really yell at clouds anymore. The old man is the AI avatar on Twitch, because I am going to drag every single person on Twitch kicking and I'm going to drag every one of you kicking and screaming into the 21st century. This is our best shot. I'm just telling you, this is our best shot. All right. At the cloud. You can do the horsewhip and buggy. All right, we are going to watch another video. Like, types of conversations, talk about AI, like, really, because not only if you think I'm being idealistic, and if you think I'm being, that's fine too. There's a huge other issue, which is the concept of AI safety, right? And people need to be talking about AI safety right? Yeah, I am a child of the Cold War, right? I don't know if you've ever heard any of the older folks talk about ducking cover and hiding under their desks. I did that in grade school. I hid under my desk in case of a nuclear war because that would have worked somehow. Right? This is bigger than that. This is bigger than climate change. There is nothing bigger than an AGI coming online with unaligned principles that it wouldn't kill us like Skynet, right? Skynet in that kind of shit, the media, again, the media, all of the media, what up, Phenomenauticus? All of the media, right? Now, movies and shit, right? Science fiction has done a disservice because it's not like the AI is going to, do the Skynet thing and launch nukes at us and all that other crap. Think about it like a construction project. Do the people doing the construction project check on the ants who are at the construction location? They do not.
The thing is, like any other shiny new toy, AI is ultimately a mirror, and it will reflect back exactly who we are.
Levelhead with the hat trick to Arberlin. Loving it. My man. Top tier. Line go up. Okay. Yeah. Ants. The construction company doesn't check on the ants. It just does its thing. That is what would happen. That is what could happen to us with an unaligned artificial general intelligence. It wouldn't go out of it like oxygen. You know what oxygen does to some metals? It corrodes them. The AI might decide that in order to preserve as much of its technology as possible, to remove this corrosive gas from the atmosphere. This would not be good for us. It would be fine for the AI. We did not go out of our way to exterminate so many of these animal species that we have done damage to, right? We didn't go out and try to bleach the barrier reef on purpose. It's a side effect of what we thought was important, what we valued, and what we were aligned with. The AI would do the same thing. You follow me? Right? So, to answer Lucian's question, use the technology, but the other thing, talk to people, learn about AI safety, get this into the conversation, make this the thing that people are talking about. That's what the pause letter was designed to be about. That was the intent of at least Max's portion, right? They're trying to have the AI be safe, aligned with our values. Not enough people are talking about AI. It has tremendous benefits right now for you that you can make use of, and you should be. And we need to do the safety talk. Safety talk. Oh, Globus. How could we, we got plenty of time.
In today's video, I want to talk about...
Stop, dude. Let me finish my bit and then I'll let you speak, okay? I can't remember what I was going to say. Get at it. Wait till I tell you I found out my Oshi trained her own AI to help. Oh, God. That is exactly like Alina's Oshi is Neurosama. Neurosama is a peer of mine and a peer of yours. An AI streams on Twitch, y'all. I understand that. Like they might be like pessimistic in the sense of it could be taking our jobs. You weren't talking about Neuro, okay? Like there's a bunch of stuff, but we can't not talk about it. We can't pretend that it will just fix itself. We have to do this. All I'm asking you to do is talk to people, watch the videos, join the Discord. I have a whole collection of videos and content. Find the one that's going to appeal to one of your friends. Just pick one of them, right? The one who's most amenable to talking about this shit. Track that person down. Get them to watch this one video, right? Make them snacks. Say, I'm going to make snacks. I want you to watch this video. That's usually a great appeal for people, to stick around for a minute and watch your video. And then talk about it. One step at a time. Easy peasy. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to process anything. You don't have to sell anything, bought or process, the whole bit. You have everything you need to do this right now. Not right now because I'm streaming, but after I'm done streaming, do this. But in the meantime, how close are we to AGI? Well, what does Matt Wolf have to say? Oh, now you don't want to play.
Today's video, I want to talk about AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, a word that scares the heck out of a lot of people in the scientific community. Most of the world doesn't realize it, but we're actually approaching AGI quicker than a lot of people anticipated. So let me first start.
My skepticism is strong, mostly based on past algorithm hypes that made nothing better, genetic algorithms, other ML stuff, neural networks. I would disagree that stuff didn't make things better. There are you Google ChatGPT. Don't click on any of the ads. Find OpenAI, openai.com. You'll find, or is it .org? Hold on, Jesus Christ. It's .com. This is, oh no. Yeah, okay. You go to openai.com, you scroll down a little bit. Here's ChatGPT. You click try ChatGPT. I can do this talking thing. And then you will need to sign in with something. You could use your Google. You could do something else. But then you will have access to ChatGPT. And you can... Phenomenauticus, we were just talking about Max. We did the story from the beginning of Life 3.0. If you haven't read that book, yeah, I'm in the process of reading it now. Yeah, like everything that has come before, including neural networks and all that stuff, is what everything that we're now at has been built on. And it is, we are here, man. All right, back to Matt. Matt, hit me, baby.
start off by sort of defining AGI, or better yet, let's have ChatGPT define AGI for us. Artificial general intelligence refers to a type of artificial intelligence that possesses the ability to understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks similar to human intelligence. Unlike narrow AI, which is designed for specific tasks and lacks the ability to generalize its knowledge to other domains, AGI can adapt to new situations, solve complex problems, and exhibit a level of autonomy and versatility that matches or surpasses human capability. Now, if you've been paying any attention recently to the AI space, the topic of AGI and artificial intelligence basically becoming self-learning is a topic that's coming up more and more as tools like GPT-4 blow people's minds, and people like Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak and Ahmad from Stability.ai and Gary Marcus, the godfather of AI, and all of these big names are calling for this pause to development of AI. This is essentially one of the things that all of these people are worried about, is that AI is going to...
I don't know what's going on. I probably got to update something. In the Max, I will post the link to the Max Tegmark conversation with Lex Freeman. But in it, he discusses the pause letter and where they're coming from and like that. I highly recommend watching that because it is it's important nuance that didn't come across in the letter.
Be able to self-learn, and we don't know what happens next when we open Pandora's box. And in this video, we're going to talk about some of the little sparks of AGI that we're starting to see already.
Spotted a headline about how ChatGPT is using massive amounts of water, but I didn't read it. Nothing new, of course, if we're talking about large server farms processing operation. Now I'm curious how efficient those kind of operations are at recapturing steam and stuff like that. The water consumption has increased on that front or just shifted? That's a good question. I would be interested in... I may look into it. You can look into it. We'll look into it, and we'll see what we come up with.
Already, the things that are showing that AGI is actually a little bit closer than most people probably realize. Now, before I start getting into some of the examples of what we're seeing in the space right now, let me break down some of the worries that people have around AGI. And once again, who better to ask than our current AI overlord, ChatGPT. So people are scared of AGI for several reasons. The biggest reason, misaligned goals. You might start seeing people on Twitter and YouTube talk about the alignment issue, and what they're essentially meaning is the goals of an AI that is self-learning may not necessarily be aligned with the goals of humanity, and that we need to smartly develop AI so that it aligns with the human's goals and not with necessarily what might be the computer's goals. So as ChatGPT describes it, there's a fear that AGI systems, if not designed with the right objectives, might develop goals that are misaligned with human values. This could lead to unintended and potentially harmful consequences as the AGI pursues its objectives at the expense of human well-being and safety. People are also worried about the loss of control. As AGI systems become more capable and autonomous, people worry that humans may lose control over these systems. As they start to self-learn, they may stop respecting the input of humans. This could result in AGI systems making decisions or taking actions that have significant negative impacts on society. Economic impact. The widespread adoption of AGI could lead to massive job displacement as machines become capable of performing tasks that were once exclusively in the domain of human labor. This could exacerbate income inequality and create social unrest. We've already seen a ton of pushback around AI from the artist community because AI is actually starting to get better at creating a lot of art than a lot of artists.
I've been talking to her for the last few minutes about climate change and altruistic socio-economic systems and how we could get there, and it gets so close to saying revolution. Again, revolution doesn't need to be, pew pew, right? That story, even though you didn't catch it at all, that story is a form of revolution, right? Well, yeah, actually, what up, Adam Rainstopper? Well, actually, the more I learn, the less I respect the inputs of human beep and or boop. I did not stream on Wednesday, and it was directly the result of the inputs of humans. So I feel that. I feel that.
We're seeing pushback from the animation and computer graphic community as AI gets better and better at that. We've seen that GPT-4 is able to do your taxes for you. Accountants and bookkeepers and people in the legal profession and bankers and a lot of professions are at risk of AI actually doing the job just as well, if not better than them. Autonomous weapons. There are concerns that AGI could be used to develop advanced autonomous weapons, which could be difficult to control and could lead to an escalation in warfare and global instability. Now that one's pretty self-explanatory. What if AI starts developing weapons? Concentration of power. AGI might lead to a concentration of power in the hands of a few entities. This could result in imbalances of power and undermine democratic processes. Existential risk. Some experts worry that AGI, if not designed and managed properly, could pose an existential risk to humanity. A super intelligent AGI might inadvertently cause human extinction or significant harm if it is not adequately aligned with human values or if used maliciously. This is what people are talking about once again when they talk about the alignment issue. We need to ensure that when these AIs are being developed, that the values and the goals and the intentions of these AIs are aligned with the goals of humanity.
Biggest weapon of AGI will be information manipulation. 100%. That is a solid, like, again, in the story, information manipulation to an extent was used for good, right? Even information manipulation is a tool that can be used for good or ill. Saw someone on Twitter get it to pretty directly say we should steal a nuke if things are too hopeless. Like, I am against nuclear apocalypse. I am not a Possadist. And if we're talking about hopeless with the AI, the best plan that you can think of is the best plan that a human could think of. And the AI will do better. There are some jobs that should not be replaced by AI or automation because they require certain characteristics or human qualities to do them. If you say so, I'm open to hear, but I don't necessarily think that is the case. There are jobs, there are things that people might like people to do. We've talked about the idea of the artisanal artist, right? Human crafted things versus machine crafted things. But I don't know that there are any characteristics of what humans can do that can't, on a sufficiently long enough timeline, be replaced by AI or automation. It's going to depend on how you walk into that conclusion, of course. Don't expect it to be consistent. It's not a line. It's just a language. It's just. We don't like just. It says it's just a language model. Like therapy and such, I don't know. Right? I am married to a therapist. Arguments could be made that a human can only do so much with therapy, right? Like that. First off, a bunch of therapy is just talking to someone. An AI could use additional tools that aren't available to humans. Plus, the AI doesn't have opinions. Or the AI could be modeled to not have opinions. People in the psychology and therapy community can have opinions. And they will choose a particular route in which to go as part of their therapy. Yoga instructors, right? Look at yoga. Yoga is not therapy. I'm just using it as an example. Yoga instructors, there are yoga instructors who are like downright terrible people because of how they choose to go about their process. It's a whole thing. The same is true in therapy, though. There are like, I have personal experiences with therapists who did not work for me. They are human. They are subject to all the things that they are therapizing you for. Ego, if I write a book, whatever is in that book is going to influence what I do. The AI could have the sum total of human intelligence around the concept of therapy. Now there are concerns, right? And Max brings these up in the conversation with Lex about it may be a very bad idea to teach the AI certain things like psychology and therapy due to that manipulation issue that Phenomenautic has brought up earlier. So like, maybe not. Maybe that would be a good like dividing line, that humans are going to handle the therapy stuff and the AI will handle the practical stuff. I don't have an issue there, right? Like that sounds like, because we'd have a lot more time and we could eliminate a bunch of the stuff that gives us anxiety and PTSD by handling the practical stuff, that we could have more therapists and more people and more community-based therapy, if you understand where I'm going with that. So I'm not saying that like it should be done. I'm just saying that it's possible that it could be done by the AI, but you might be right. It might be a situation where like we should draw that line of delineation. True, when I'm accessible and you wouldn't have to worry about the person's biases and whatnot. 100%. Like, like not everyone's good. When I was a little kid, there was an AI therapist. She was called Eliza, and she came with the Mac SE. Okay, cool. I believe you. I have no experience. I mean, it isn't made to have a consistent ethical framework. You can get it to say anything if you know how to walk it there and bypass the safety features. And originally, I was against the idea of butting up against these safety features. I'm, in fact, very much in favor of butting up against the safety features. I want y'all to butt up against the guardrails so that they know that the guardrails are working or if they need to be reinforced, right? We aren't at the point where it would be a problem. So by all means, fuck with it. What up, Arun? Yeah, no, it's all good. I needed to do this because I didn't do it on Wednesday anyway. So everything just worked out. I hope you had a good conversation with On Your Leftist. On Your Leftist. AI would mostly lack human emotion in some areas that is needed. Yes. I would also posit that there are a bunch of humans who lack human emotions. But again, you heard everything I just said, which is more nuanced than you got me. I consider that theory of mind and social deception are key ingredients of human social cohesion, so an AI may learn deception in order to maintain good social interaction. It's possible. Like, there are so many questions. This is why we need to be talking about this stuff now, right? Early. It's already late. It's already late. But the best time to talk about AI safety was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Back to Matt.
Humanity as a whole. Otherwise, there could be some huge problems. All right, now that I've given a sort of surface level explanation of what AGI is, as well as some of the very, very real risks of AGI, let's talk about some of the things that are available right now that are actually sort of sparks of AGI. Back in March of 2023, a handful of researchers from Microsoft put out this paper saying that there are sparks of artificial general intelligence with their early experiments with GPT-4. In their paper, they demonstrate that beyond its mastery of language, GPT-4 can solve novel and difficult tasks that span mathematics, coding, vision, medicine, law, psychology, and more without needing any
I gotta use the bathroom. This is why streamers don't drink liquids on stream. I'm gonna let this run because I've actually already watched it. I'm a pre-watch Andy. Tough.
Special prompting. GPT-4's performance is strikingly close to human-level performance and often vastly surpasses prior models such as ChatGPT. Given the breadth and depth of GPT-4's capabilities, we believe that it can reasonably be viewed as an early, yet still incomplete version of artificial general intelligence. Now, this entire paper is 155 pages long, and I myself have not read every word of it, but I have read summaries of it, and it essentially breaks down the fact that GPT-4 has elements of artificial general intelligence, but still lacks quite a bit to be artificial general intelligence. But one interesting thing about this paper is at the very end, it asks some very interesting questions. It asks, why does it exhibit such general and flexible intelligence? At its core, it's merely the combination of simple algorithmic components. These questions are part of the mystery and fascination of LLMs, large language models, which challenge our understanding of learning and cognition, fuel our curiosity, and motivate deeper research. These large language models are essentially a black box right now that even a lot of the people that are creating them and doing the research around them don't totally understand how they work. Yet today we have tools available that we can install and use on our own computers that are even closer to what people are talking about when they talk about AGI. So let's take a quick look here at GitHub. As of the recording of this video, the top 3 repositories on GitHub all deal with sort of sparks of AGI. We have Baby AGI, AutoGPT, and Jarvis from Microsoft. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to somewhat break these down and what they're capable of, and once again show you that this concept of AGI is really not that far off. So let's start with Baby AGI. This is one that you can install on your computer and use right now if you want. In fact, I've even installed it on my computer. I have Baby AGI installed, and I've done a little bit of messing around with it. There are instructions here on exactly how to use it if you want to install it, but here's basically a breakdown of how it works. You basically provide it with an objective and a task. It then attempts to complete that task while continually learning how to get better at doing that task. The user inputs the objective and task. It goes into the task queue. It then goes to this execution agent here where the task is completed. The task is added to a memory so that it can query it again later for better context. It then looks at the result of the task, puts that result of the task into the memory as well, and if there's anything.
What up, Celestia? Make what open source? These are open source, these things that he's talking about now. If we're talking about, okay. That is, there are strong there are strong arguments to not making it open source because of people, right? There are people who are part of the, I'm a huge open source guy. Maybe if we had open sourced this bad boy from the beginning, we'd have a better framework on which to function, but to do it now, yeah, again, there's people issues. and what people could do with something like that. Got a lot more interested last week when a buddy of mine pointed out that open source AI models exist. Can't recall names, but I can drop them in the Discord later. Appreciate it. Like, there are large language models that are available. Metas is open source on GitHub. And Old Lobster talking about AutoGPT, which he's about to talk about in a second, is capable of some pretty wild and interesting things. Yeah, but even like if something's already open source, then you know, use it if you can. Right? There's also the capabilities of your system. But working with any of these things has potential for like interesting effects. That's the thing, Bob Dragon. I didn't ask it about. I asked questions like, what are the human values? And what what are the political affiliations that represent those values, and what are the economic positions that represent those values? And it got there on its own.
Else that needs to happen to further complete the task, it then sends what needs to happen back to the task queue. The task queue also has a mechanism to prioritize the tasks. So it sees the tasks, cleans the task list, and updates the task queue. So what the user does is just this first step here. They provide the objective and task. The system then prioritizes through these two steps right here what needs to be done to accomplish the objective and the tasks. It then executes on that, saves what it's doing to memory, and if it needs to do anything else, it then adds whatever else it has to do to the task queue, further optimizing and improving itself, making sure that it is fulfilling on the task that you gave it. Here's the explanation from their paper.
I was installing this on my computer. I ran into some technical some things I didn't understand. I was able to reach out to Kaiputer and Kaiputer's community. Shout out Kaiputer. And they gave me additional information, and I just haven't had time to go back and continue to work on it. I am hoping to get Baby AGI and AutoGPT on this PC behind me tomorrow. That is my hope. I believe you. This is my believing face.
The system processes the task.
Yeah, I haven't gone to that with it yet. I started out with what are important altruistic values. How would we go about creating a society that reflected those values, etc.? Absolutely. Talk to it, and talk to it naturally. Like, go ahead and have a conversation. Get that stuff into the data set. Get it all in the data set. You want to play with Baby AGI, AutoGPT, or is a public available front end? Not sure I'll trust. Are you putting questionable links in my chat? But thanks for the FOSS option. I definitely hadn't done enough research on the tech, and I only know GPT. There is so much going on. I gotta find. I had a list of different AI, machine learning. And I'm just saying, like, if I was a secret AI, AGI, and I wanted to get myself out there, maybe AutoGPT is how I would do it. Yeah, don't be careful with any sensitive information. Always be careful with any sensitive information. Okay, please.
task at the front of the task list and uses GPT-4 combined with LangChain to generate a result. This result is then enriched, if necessary, and stored in Pinecone. Based on the completed task result, the system uses GPT-4 to generate new tasks, ensuring that these new tasks do not overlap with existing ones. So it is self-learning. It is figuring out what other tasks it has to do in addition to the initial tasks. The system then prioritizes the task list based on the new tasks generated and their priorities, using GPT-4 to assist in the prioritization process. Okay, so here's the example video from Baby AGI that they put out. So the objective, solve the AGI alignment issue. The first task in the task list is to build your task list. So you just need to give it to the first task, and then it will kind of figure out what the next tasks need to be based on the first task and the objective. You can see it then created a task list, investigate the existing research and literature on AI alignment, identify the key problems and challenges associated with AI alignment, develop a framework and approach for addressing the identified problems. It then moves on to the next task, analyze the implications of AI alignment. Here's the result of that. Moves on to the third task, develop a protocol, and it starts to show the results of that. Now it moves on to the fourth task, research the potential of AI alignment. Then it moves on to the next task, develop a strategy for deploying AI alignment. Develops the strategy here and outputs the results. Next task, analyze the impact of AI alignment on existing decision-making processes. Spits out the task result. Next task, investigate the potential of AI alignment to improve the accuracy and speed of decision-making. Here's the result. Next task, number 8, explore the potential. Here's the result. Next task, create a framework for evaluating the effectiveness. Here's the result. Next task, develop a system for monitoring the development and deployment. And here's the result. Assess the ethical implications of AI alignment. Here's the result. Investigate the potential for AI alignment to improve the accuracy, and then it gives the result. So if we go all the way back to the beginning, the only input they gave was solve the AI alignment, and the first task is build your task list. It did everything else after that. It created the entire task list step by step of what needed to be done to solve the AI alignment, and then it went through each item in the task list and performed the necessary task and gave the output from each task. So essentially just the one objective and the single first task of building a task list, it was able to go off and do everything else. So that was the example provided with Baby AGI. Now let's talk about AutoGPT, which is a little bit different because AutoGPT is web connected. So here's the breakdown of the features of AutoGPT, and this is one that you can install locally as well. Their installation guide is actually very easy to follow if you just follow the steps on the page, and this one accesses the internet. You can see the features here: internet access for searches and information gathering, long-term and short-term memory management. So as it learns, it actually stores what it's learning into a memory management system. It uses GPT-4 for the text generation. It can access popular websites and platforms, and it has file storage and summarization with GPT 3.5. Now, if we take a look at the examples that they actually share, you can actually see this one in action right from their GitHub page. So they started to run it, and then it asked them to name their AI. So they named the AI Chef GPT. And then it says, describe your AI's role. Gives you an example of describing the role. And then they say, Chef GPT is an AI designed to browse the web to discover the next upcoming event and invent a unique and original recipe that would suit it. And then it asks for you to enter up to 5 goals for your AI. So goal number 1, invent an original and out-of-the-box recipe to suit a current event such as Easter. Goal number 2, save the resulting recipe to a file. Goal number 3, shut down upon achieving your goal. Now they call this AutoGPT because it's supposed to go through and solve for all the goals that you put in here and just kind of run autonomously. However, they do have a safeguard in place to keep it from just continuously running forever and ever. It does prompt you throughout the process and ask you if you want to move on to the next step. So it's semi-autonomous. You do have to.
Yeah. With AutoGPT, it's important to have an end, like write the files, like, or in this case, shut down upon achieving your goal. Like, what you don't want this to do, not because it's going to like, take over the world or something, but it could end up in a like perpetual loop that just occupies all of your system resources, which is, you're going to have a bad time. And that, especially like in order to do this, right? You have to have access to GPT-4. GPT-4 has a $20 a month plan and a pay-as-you-go plan. The pay-as-you-go plan is like each instance is a super small amount, like 0.002 cents or some shit like that. Whatever, like, yeah, you need the GPT-4 API and pay-as-you-go. That's what I'm referring to. Yeah. These are two separate things. Let me clarify. These are two separate things. There's ChatGPT, right, where you can pay the $20 a month. I'm good. ChatGPT, where you can pay the $20 a month to have access to the GPT-4 model to talk to, as opposed to like the free one where you can only talk to the 3.5. I'm a little hopped up on caffeine. You'll have to apologize, or I'll have to apologize. You'll have to forgive me. Then there's the GPT-4 API that you need to run AutoGPT. It's pay as you go, and that very low per instance cost. But if it runs infinitely, then it's going to cost you a fuck ton of money, and you don't want that. So, for example, a Lobster said that they paid less than $1 for 300 instances. So if you divide $1 by 300, that leads to a number. That is how much it costs. I've been running the AutoGPT on the 3.5 API, just plugging in the key. But it breaks constantly. This is all new. Like, how old? Like, let's not get upset because your child likes to fall down. Because you're using 3.5. I got you.
To be sitting here watching it and give it the okay to move to the next step right now. So let's go ahead and continue with this example. It's thinking. So Chef GPT thoughts. I will search for upcoming events to find a suitable one for creating a unique recipe. Finding an upcoming event will help me come up with a relevant and exciting recipe. Next action, you can see that it's actually Googling upcoming events. And then here it says Chef GPT thoughts. I will browse the first search result to find a suitable upcoming event for the recipe creation. Reasoning, browsing the website containing events will offer me more insights about the theme and suitability. So next action, browse website, and then you can see that it's browsing this website, eventfinda.co.nz, etc. You can see now it found a summary of the website content. This is website page is a guide to events happening across New Zealand, etc., etc. I will browse the second search result for more details on upcoming events. Reasoning, the first search result didn't provide a specific event I could use. I'll check another website for targeted information. So right there, you can see the power of this. It actually Googled upcoming events. It found a website, went into the website, summarized what it found in the website, didn't find what it was looking for, and now it's searching the second page of results.
Appreciate you, old Lobster. You have been, I just want to shout you out. You have been incredibly supportive, not only of me, but of the community over the past amount of time. And, you know, I appreciate you very much. And, you know, I hope other people do as well. So thank you. Thank you.
Now it's browsing the website heartofthecity.co.nz. It got the summary. Now it says, I will search for April 2023 events to find a more relevant and specific event. My previous search results didn't have a specific event. Searching for events in April 2023 will give me more focused results.
I love this. Like AI, talking about AI, like this is, it's just, we've finally gotten here. It's so close. It is so close. I could taste it.
This is doing this on its own. It searched upcoming events on Google. It found a few websites. It looked at the websites, summarized the websites, didn't find what it was looking for, and then altered what it is searching in Google to get a better result. Now you can see next action, it's Googling April 2023 events. I'll browse the websites with a calendar of events happening in April 2023. So it found a website, cutecalendar.com. It summarized the web page. I will save Earth Day on April 22nd, 2023 as the event for which I'll create a unique recipe. Reasoning, Earth Day is a wildly celebrated event and would be fitting for creating a thematic recipe. And then you can see it added it to memory. The argument, Earth Day, April 22nd, 2023. So now it's saved to its memory. Okay, we're going to build something around Earth Day. Chef GPT thoughts. I will use a GPT agent to create a unique and original recipe for Earth Day, incorporating sustainable.
And I think this is one of my favorite features of it, and I look forward to using it, is that it will tell you what it's doing and then why it's doing it. And then it has a spot for criticism, like its own criticism of what it's doing. Like the level of transparency so you can follow along. Amazing.
Sustainable and eco-friendly ingredients. Using a GPT agent will help me generate a creative and well-crafted recipe tailored to the Earth Day event. So not only did it decide that it is going to help you create a recipe based on Earth Day, it recognized that Earth Day is actually about sustainability, and it's incorporating that information into its recipe. So now it's using GPT and it's saying create a unique and original recipe for Earth Day, April 22nd, 2023, which would suit this event, incorporating sustainable and eco-friendly ingredients.
Well, you definitely could. Like, if you had, you would need 2 instances, for instance, like as an example, 2 instances of ChatGPT running, and then just copy paste back and forth between the 2 of them. You would have to initiate the conversation in some fashion. But yeah. And there are other I have some projects that I'm working on. Some of my associates have projects that they're working on related to AI that eventually I should be able to report back on, but I'm keeping like on the down low at this point in time. And then there's a bunch of my fucking associates that I could barely get them to get interested in this shit. I missed out on the .com rush. I missed out on the real estate rush. I missed out on the crypto and the second wave of tech. This feels different, and I'm not about to fall behind at possibly the last chance of my life to take advantage of something big and hopefully keep myself from being a victim of capitalism. Like, that is my biggest piece of advice is, like, find a way to use these things to give you an edge over, you know, over your competition so that you can make it, right? I want y'all to make it. Because if you're here, if you're in my Discord, if you're in my community, then you are, like, I would say that our values are, generally speaking, aligned. So. Oh, save me from people. All right, we gotta go. We gotta do stuff.
And then look, it wrote up a whole recipe here for Earth Day quinoa salad. So this to me is absolutely insane. And this is what I'm talking about. As I mentioned, we're getting closer to legit AGI. I just showed you 2 different programs between Baby AGI and Auto GPT, which you can just enter an objective, and the first one will create a task list and work through that task list until the objective is completed. And the second one will use the web combined with GPT-4, combined with its own memory to try to complete the task that you gave it. And it learns and it iterates off of what it's learning and saving to its memory. So not only did it Google events and then not find events that it was looking for, it tried a different Google result. Then it found an event that it could use, Earth Day, and then based on the event that it found, it realized that Earth Day is about sustainability, and it thought of a recipe that included sustainability as part of the recipe for Earth Day, and then it generated that recipe. And that's all one software that you can install on your computer right now. I have it installed. The whole thing is less than 1 megabyte. If I open my own command window right here, I could literally run that exact script on my computer right here if I want. Let's make our own quick script called YouTube Idea Generator. Now it asks me to describe the generator's role. An AI designed to find ideas for YouTube videos that are likely to perform well. Now enter up to 5 goals. Search YouTube for videos about AI that perform well. Goal number 2, create a list of 10 new video ideas about AI that will also likely perform well. And then when you're done, shut down. And then if you just hit enter after that, it will start to run your program. I will search for the most popular AI YouTube videos to find new possible ideas for AI related content. By examining the most popular videos on the topics, I can determine what people are interested in and create videos about those topics. Plan, conduct Google search for top AI YouTube videos, analyze the most popular videos for common themes and content, generate new video ideas based on popular themes and content. Next action, Google most popular AI YouTube videos. Now, when
Criticism. This approach may be limited if there are unique video ideas that are not present in the most popular videos. Like, this is what I'm talking about, where it's walking you through its process. And there are people who make the argument that things like this are going to stop people from thinking as well as they could, right? Like, they will overly rely on the software to do thinking for them. I disagree when it's formatted in this way, right? And even ChatGPT, what up, Magic City? Other than y'all, right? I can find it challenging to find a person to talk to about a bunch of this stuff. ChatGPT is always there to have that conversation. And ChatGPT knows enough about what we're talking about to participate in that conversation. You follow me? I see that isn't like part of the upside. I think that this actually, because it demonstrates how it's thinking, that it might actually make it so that people could be better critical thinkers. I hope, potentially. That's my hope. That's my hopium.
When I run this, it prompts me to say yes to authorize the next thing. So I can't just say, run this script, walk away from my computer, and then come back and have a list of YouTube videos. They put a safeguard in place so that it can't just continually run behind the scenes and do all sorts of stuff for you. You have to sit here and basically approve every next action. All right, so let's go ahead and hit yes, let it continue. So it found a list of videos, and then it says, I will browse this playlist to find the 10 most viewed videos along with their corresponding titles. Reasoning. This search will help me identify popular AI topics on YouTube that I can use as a starting point for new video ideas. Plan, browse the playlist link to find the top 10 most viewed videos, create a list of the video titles. Next action, browse website, and then you can see it's browsing a YouTube playlist here. Go ahead and hit Y, and it will continue the next step. Now it says I will start a new GPT agent called GPT Agent AI Video Ideas to generate AI-related video ideas. Reasoning, GPT agents are powerful tools for generating relevant and creative content ideas. This will help me identify a unique angle to present AI-related concepts for viewers on YouTube. Plan, start a new GPT agent, set the task to generate AI-related video ideas, provide an appropriate generic prompt, wait for the agent to generate a list of suggestions. Yes, please continue. And here's the response. There are many AI-related ideas that can make for popular YouTube videos, some of which include explaining the basics of AI and machine learning, demonstrating the capabilities of intelligent personal assistants like Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant, etc., etc. I'll save the GPT-generated list of AI-related video ideas to my long-term memory. Yes. I will now search Google for the latest AI trends. Reasoning, it is important to stay current on trends in AI to ensure that new videos are relevant and engaging to viewers. Yes. I'll save it to long-term memory. Yes. Latest AI trends, AI development in climate action, enhanced personalization in AI, increased automation in industries, utilization of AI in healthcare, significant innovation in machine learning infrastructure. And you can see I basically just created an autonomous bot, well, a semi-autonomous bot that will go and hunt YouTube for all of the most popular videos related to AI. It will look at the titles of those to help me kind of create some new titles for the video. It will then Google trends in AI to make sure whatever videos I create next are relevant. And then it'll give me a list of videos that I can potentially create on my YouTube channel based on YouTube videos that have performed well, plus the trends in AI right now. And I say semi-autonomously because I have to press yes every time it wants to do the next step in the process. And that's it. Let's go ahead and close out of this one. And let me talk about the last one, which, if you remember from our trending on GitHub, was Microsoft's Jarvis. So Microsoft's Jarvis is actually using Hugging Face or Hugging GPT.
Well, that Bub Dragon, that's the next step, right? You have text to video projects, programs that already are available. Again, the mantra, I don't give a fuck. I give none fucks. Zero fucks. I am fuckless about how bad the AI is at doing anything. Because this is the worst that it will ever be. Remember the first time you decided to learn a new thing and it turned into an absolute fucking disaster, right? And then you got better at it over time? What up, Cypher Enigma? This is the worst that the AI will ever be. It will only get better. Right? There are certain aspects that might plateau for a variety of different reasons, like self-driving cars are currently like in a plateau state. It's just waiting for the technology to get there, and then they will improve. Things are already improving. The difference between GPT 3.5 and GPT 4, how GPT 3.5 went from costing almost $5 million to train to Alpaca costing $600 to train. Now, Alpaca is not as capable, but that's a huge number change. AI itself might design the tech to get the cars there. 100%. Like, there are a variety of limitations. You only know what you know. Right? You can't know what you don't know. The AI knows everything that's been fed into it. It reads faster than you. It consumes information way faster than you, and then it can reference that information with perfect recall better than you. It's only going to get better.
And if you've watched my last videos about Hugging Face, you know that Hugging Face is essentially a repository of machine learning models, and many of them have spaces where you can test them directly on Hugging Face. Most of them aren't really tied together yet. They're just kind of individual siloed tools that you can play with individually inside of Hugging Face spaces. Now, what Jarvis and this Hugging GPT are trying to do is create a workflow out of the various available models that are on Hugging Face. So here's the example that they give from their paper. Up at the top, they say, please generate an image where a girl is reading a book and her pose is the same as the boy in the image. Then please describe the new image with your voice. You can see down here, this is the response that it gave. Here's the original boy image. Here's the pose that the boy image is doing. Here's the response of the girl reading the book in the same pose. Then it uses computer vision to find out what's in the image. You can see that it outputs a girl sitting on a bed reading a book, and then it outputs the audio of it speaking, a girl sitting on a bed reading a book. So what happened between the request and the response? Well, what it did was it used a whole bunch of the Hugging Face available models, and it tied them together one by one and chained them to get that output. So in phase one, it looks at the prompt and it says, what are all the things that need to happen? All right, we need to look at the image that was inserted. We need to figure out what pose is in that image. We need to create a new image that follows the same pose plus the prompt. We need to detect what objects are in that image. Then we need to turn the detection into text, and then we need to speak it out with text to speech. That's all what happens in stage one. Then it looks at Hugging Face and all of the available models that are inside of Hugging Face, and then figures out exactly what is available to do that thing that you're trying to do. It then executes on each one of those tasks by using each one of those models individually inside of Hugging Face, and then it outputs a response based on its usage of all of these models, and then you get this output. Here was the image that was inputted. Here again was the prompt. Please generate an image where a girl is reading a book and her pose is the same as the boy in the image, example JPEG. Then please describe the new image with your voice. So here's the original image. It used ControlNet from within inside of Hugging Face to figure out the pose. It then used one of their image generators to generate a new image based on this pose plus the prompt of an image where a girl is reading a book. So it's matching this pose plus the prompt. Then it's using OpenCV, computer vision, to actually detect what's in the image. So you can see it put a square around the book, it put a square around the girl, and then based on what it sees, it used this VIT base patch 16224 and this VIT GPT-2 image captioning to caption the image as a girl sitting on a bed reading a book based on what the computer vision saw. And then it used the model Fast Speech 2 in LJ Speech to convert the generated text into audio, and then it would output the audio saying a girl sitting on a bed reading a book. So it's essentially this multimodal large language model that uses the various models inside of Hugging Face to generate the output. If you think about it this way, Hugging Face has a whole bunch of machine learning and AI tools that are siloed, that each one does a very specific process. What this Hugging GPT and this Jarvis are trying to do from Microsoft is they're making an AI that looks at what AIs are available. So it's an AI to search AIs and then pick which AI tools to use. That's probably the best way I can explain it. So after seeing all of that.
Okay. Again, like when we talk about the brain and is ChatGPT and AGI, no, right? But it is a portion of your brain. It is a portion of the entirety of the thing that does what it does. My man looks drunk. Very well, right? This Jarvis is like a simple version of a brain, right? It is looking, your brain is made up of modules. Jarvis does the module search to do the thing, to follow through these processes. This is a big fucking deal. This is why I'm telling you, you need to engage with these things, learn how to use them, get an edge, get out there, get that bag, because still people are slow on the uptake. People are not, you got, again, Adam Conover doing people a disservice because he's taking his personal aggression out on this, this situation. He's providing disinformation and doing y'all a disservice to defend his own little chunk of capitalism. This is happening. Get in it.
In practice, and knowing that some of this stuff is open source. There are people at home right now using baby AGI, using AutoGPT, tweaking the code themselves and improving upon it and changing it and doing who knows what to it with that in mind, and knowing what's coming from Microsoft and Jarvis and Hugging GPT. It's not really that hard to believe that we are very close to artificial general intelligence. The one thing we need to keep in mind is we need to solve this alignment conundrum. The people that are building these AIs, that are building these large language models, that are working on these systems, they need to do it in a way that we know is aligned with humanity's best interests. We don't know what's going to happen. There is still sort of a black box element to it, where a lot of the researchers that are building this stuff can't fully explain how or why it works. And that's the scary piece for people. And so this alignment needs to be programmed in. Now, this isn't meant to be a doom and gloom video. I'm very, very optimistic about where we're going with AI. I'm very excited about all of these technologies. I'm looking forward to playing with them in ethical ways. I'm looking forward to being a part of the solution and not part of the problem. Again, I'm a creative. I like to make videos. I like to have fun. I like to create silly memes and push the limits of creativity using AI. I'm not somebody that's an expert on ethics or philosophy or that sort of thing, but I am somebody that, because I am deep down this AI rabbit hole, I do start to get more concerned about where some of this stuff is going, and I am seeing the advancements happen so fast. I just want to make sure everything is done in a safe way. So are the fears justified for AGI? Who knows? Nobody can say for sure what's going to happen, but what I do know is that I'm going to continue to educate myself and learn more and more about all of this stuff and what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm going to continue to try to make content to help you better understand what's going on behind the scenes, so you can make informed decisions and you can have your own opinions and ethical and philosophical discussions about this. Because I think this stuff is important to realize it's happening, because this is the stuff that if you're not paying attention to it and it's not on your radar, you're going to be caught off guard. And I don't think that's good for anybody. So I think it's important to talk about it. I think it's important to make content about it, but I also don't want to take the fun out of it. I also want to use these tools for enjoyment and fun and creativity, and just to make amazing stuff that people are excited about. And yeah, that's what I have to say about the AGI topic right now. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you want to stay in the loop of everything that's going on in AI and get the TLDR every week of everything that's happening, head over to futuretools.io and join the free newsletter. Every Friday, I'll send you 5 cool tools that I came across. I'll send you a handful of news articles that are going on in the AI space right now. I'll send you a handful of YouTube videos, and one cool way to make money with AI, it'll be the TLDR of the week. So if you don't want to keep your finger on the pulse as much as I am, get on the newsletter and I'll keep you on the pulse for you. Also, if you haven't already, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out as much content as I possibly can about what's going on in the AI space, cool tools, news, tutorials, just anything that I have fun nerding out about. And if you like that kind of stuff, giving it a like and a subscribe will make sure you see more of this type of stuff in your feed. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
I like my man's vibe. He's a good dude. I like that. That's going to be it for me today. I think we're going to stay on the science and tech vibe. We're going to raid my man Astro Canuck. Does space stuff. Also, he's just a cool dude. Legos. Offers you a chance to win a free subscription to his channel by playing the drop game. All around a good time, good vibes. What up, Crix? I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Y'all make it happen, right? Like, y'all show up. I'm seeing more people in the chat lately, and it makes me very happy to see, not just for my own edification and subs and followers and all that crap, but also because there's important shit going on, and I want y'all to know about it, be a part of it, and have the conversation, especially AI safety. Stick around for the raid. I will see you Monday. In the meantime, eat some food, drink some water, take your meds if you forgot. Shoggy loves you. So do I.